Hello, conscious investor, and welcome back. I'm your host, Julie Hawley. For over 4 years, I've paired my background in real estate investing, education, and coaching to create powerful content for you each week. This podcast is where we take a holistic approach to investing by focusing on 3 ingredients to a life of personal freedom: health, mindset, and wealth. We'll talk about everything from passive investing through syndication and how to use your retirement accounts to boost your investing, to mineral balancing and gut-brain health, and into topics that cultivate your inner strength and resilience so you can thrive regardless of any of life's current events. And yes, those are all episodes currently available and linked in the show notes below. Join me each Monday for a mindset episode and later in the week for an interview with expert investors and health professionals so that you can experience your greatest health, strongest mindset, and build the wisest wealth. Welcome back, conscious investor. We've been talking a lot about success recently. I understand that. And today I'm going to double down even further into 3 keys for you to succeed with, because this is coming about. There are some transitions taking place with Super Rad Steve and how he's going about things. And in these conversations that he and I are having in real time, some of these things are surfacing. And I thought, man, remember, there aren't any snowflakes. Yes, we're all created uniquely, but we have the human condition. And so I think a lot of our conversations are going to benefit you so much so. In fact, I wish so often that we would just be recording our conversations in real time so that you guys could, kind of see how we navigate some of these topics together, because a lot of times we have a high performer and going after it, and then maybe our spouse is a high performer, but they go about things in a different way, and it's like navigating that so that you are still staying unified is really interesting. Let me know if you want some episodes like that. It's been a while since Super Rad Steve's been on the show, and I think it's about time to bring it back. Before we dive on into today's episode, I just want to give a shout out reminder that this show is sponsored by 3 Keys Investments. 3 Keys Investments provides passive investment opportunities that provide housing for humans through investments in multi-million-dollar apartment complexes and assisted living facilities. You can say goodbye to the hassle and headaches of owning rentals and hello to living the life you want with the people you love, all while owning real ownership in real estate. All right, let's go ahead and let's dive into 3 attitudes for your success, 3 attitudes you need to be successful. The first one, and again, this came about in an organic conversation. Admit it. Are you interested or are you committed? A lot of times we like the idea of something. We think it's going to be fun and exciting. And you've heard me speak about the emotional cycle of change on other past podcast episodes recently, right? Where we start out with that excitement and that enthusiasm. It's uninformed optimism. And then we, actually get into the nitty gritty and we find ourselves really in a frustrating situation down in the trough of despair. And that's where so many of us make that decision to say, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And we end up choosing to exit and go back up to uninformed optimism. And then there are some of us who decide, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be, but I'm committed to the outcome here. I'm committed to that vision that I saw on the other side of this trough of despair. I am committed to that vision and I'm going to see this through. And when we have that depth of commitment, then we're going to be able to forge our path and really climb out of the trough of despair and into that informed optimism. And this is a beautiful place to be. And it is well earned. You don't get to go into informed optimism without first crossing through that trough of despair. It makes me think of, the Princess Bride and, some of the places that, Wesley had to go. And it makes me also think of the story by Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist. If you haven't listened to that, pick up the book. The book is fantastic, but it's also extremely well read. Jeremy Lyons is a reader for that. So definitely definitely check those out because it will help really solidify that concept of the process is going to distill in you if you are committed or if you are just interested. And I want to encourage you that if you discover that you were just interested and you decide, actually, this isn't what I want to be doing, that's okay. This is kind of the beauty about this progression is that we can adapt, and I'm going to get to that in just a moment. Not just we can, but we must, right? And new information is going to help guide and direct us. So let's go ahead and let's talk about adaptation, because that's the next attitude that we must have if we want to have success. We must be pliable and adaptable. I think about the slime that my daughter makes. Little Miss is just obsessed. I think the last 3 years has been a slime obsession. And it's fun because she's this little mad scientist inside the kitchen, and she can tell you what all these different ingredients do. And as she adds those ingredients, the slime will change texture or consistency, or she'll get cloud slime, or she'll get ice slime, or she'll get, and she has the names for all these different types of slimes. She's adapting it. And you and I have to be adaptable as well. In our business, like in our investing, we adapt to the market conditions. We adapt to interest rates. We adapt to, sellers not coming, reducing their list price because they're still thinking a couple of years back, and they're still wanting top dollar. But we are adapting. We're in a constant state of adapting. I oftentimes say we either adapt or we become obsolete. Actually, I've been saying that for almost a decade now. And I want you to really internalize that, because we cannot stay the same. Everything around us is changing. It is in motion, and it's in a constant state of flux. And if we believe that we can be this immovable object and everything is going to form around us, we're going to have a lot of surprises that are going to leave us very, very uncomfortable. And so we want to make sure that we are postured in a position to where we are adapting to what is taking place around us so that we are able to achieve the success that we are looking for. And when I say adapting, I'm not saying conforming to different ways of thinking and philosophy and, being a sellout on, your core values and beliefs. That's a very different topic of conversation. And that's not, just to be extremely clear, that's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about, as we are pursuing something, we must be adaptable. Case in point, I think about, the last 25 years of my life. I've been a public school educator. I've been a real estate sales agent. I've been a stay-at-home mom. I've been a homeschool mom. I've gone back to education, all while investing in real estate along the way. And then I left education for full-time real estate investing. Then I adapted, and my coach really insisted for a year that I really needed to be coaching. Finally, I understood. Yes, I do need to be coaching, right? All of these adaptations took place because I was using inertia. I was in motion. And because I was in motion, there was new information coming my way that informed me and allowed me to see, oh, see that potential and possibility. Actually, that feels deeply aligned with everything I'm trying to create and generate in my life. So we want to make sure that we are remaining adaptable. The final element, the final attitude that we want to have towards success, in my opinion, is that we have to understand if we're willing to do the work. Oh my goodness. This is really, I think, the number one reason why most people are not successful. And that is because they are unwilling to do the dirty work. Most people, okay, we will, I'm going to overgeneralize. I'm going to say it, and then we'll let everybody decide if the shoe fits or not. I have found that oftentimes we want to outsource as much of the work as possible. And on the other side of the pendulum, we want to hoard it and we want to have massive amounts of control over it. In either case, it's not sustainable and it's not healthy. But I want to speak directly to those who are unwilling. They have this idea and they believe, wow, this would be great. I think I could do this. I can execute on this. I would be the best. And it's all talk. And we know the expression, talk is cheap. So show me what you are actually doing. Sometimes those jobs aren't the glamorous jobs. And if you're listening to outside sources, people will probably tell you, oh, you should not be doing that job. That is below you. You should hire a VA to do that job. You should have an assistant do that job. You should actually have a full-time employee do that job. You should. And a lot of people on the outside are going to tell you how you should be doing things so that you can be successful. And while those voices are very well intended, there is a disconnect. I really appreciate Alex Hormazi. He says, I will do what is required. Okay, well, what is my goal? What do I want to achieve? Do I want healthier relationships? Do I want to be fit physically? Do I want to have the career path that I want and the investments that I want? Then I must do what is required. Great. Bummer. I'm going to pass on eating the whole dessert. I'm going to have 3 bites. Three is a magic number. 3 bites. You're probably not going to break the bank on the diet with 3 small bites of the cheesecake or whatever, right? Or maybe you are, and so you're not going to do that, and you're going to have that self-discipline and say, nope, not at all. Maybe that means what is required is I'm going to the gym. I don't want to wake up. I don't want to go at night. I don't want to go. I don't want to do this, but it's required for the type of care that I want to provide for my physical shell that houses my soul. So I'm going to do what's required. Financially, I really want to take that trip, but I'm so close to being able to make that investment. I'm going to do what's required. We have to ask ourselves, are we willing to do what is required? A lot of times people will say, wow, I want to start a podcast. That's so cool. Oh, I want to invest like you. I want to coach like you. Are you willing to do what is required? Are you willing to show up and to do the work along the way? By the way, Conscious Investor, we've been at this together for almost 500 episodes. That's a lot. That's 4 solid years. Do the math on that, of twice a week podcast episodes being released. That's a lot of effort. That's a lot of consistency. That's showing up. That's doing what is required. I want you to really get honest with yourself and evaluate the things that are occupying your time and ask yourself, is this aligned with where I want to go? If this were to come and bloom to its fullest, is that the success that I am looking for? And if it is, ask yourself the next question is say, am I committed to this? Am I committed to the point where I will be adaptable to the changes that are going to be taking place inside of me and outside of me? And if I am committed, and if I am committed to being adaptable, am I committed to doing what is required to generate this success in this part of my life? Go through and audit your time. Go through and evaluate, where are you investing your time, your money, your energy, your talent, your knowledge, your wisdom, your experience? I know I just said a ton of things, but where are you investing those so that you can really achieve the success that's going to lead to fulfillment and satisfaction? That's what I got for you this week, Conscious Investor. Our attitude and posture towards success, our willingness to be committed, adaptable, and to do what is required are going to affect the outcomes in every single part of our life, our health, our mindset, and our wealth. You know what I'm always going to say? Adventure belongs on the trail, not in our investing and not in our personal lives. So if you are looking to take that first or next step in your investing, make sure you head on down to the show notes so that we can connect up and schedule a time for us to talk. If you're looking to really unleash your potential and possibility like my coaching clients have, then make sure you go down to the bottom, click the link to learn more about the coaching that I offer. You are amazing, and I appreciate you, conscious investor. Until next time, cheers to your health, mindset, and wealth. Are you enjoying this episode? Help spread the word by sharing the episode with a friend or family member. Because really, where would any of our lives be without other people sharing great content with us? Help spread the word by sharing on your social platforms and with those you care about. And remember, tag me at Happy Julie Holly.